Telegram protocol, kinanglan you should be there. Okay, somebody should be there. That's why we call it as naantoy term na to, connection oriented and connectionless. So therefore, kung connectionless siya, gagamit tag TCP, and if it is connection oriented, gagamit kita og UDP. Okay, and there's a specific port on which asa dapita moagi ang DHCP nimo, and that is the source port of 67 and destination port of 68. Okay, sige. So this is how the discovery and offer messages are being sent to and from the DHCP. Okay, kabalo naman kita ani. Okay, this is very understandable. All you have to do is to read. Okay. So this is how we configure a basic server configuration in our router. So the first thing is, number one, exclude the IP addresses that you don't need to give out to your intended clients. You can do that by giving the command IP DHCP exclude address from 192 from 10.1 until 10.9. So meaning there are two. This is the range now of IP addresses that you don't need to give out to your client. Then you can also exclude an IP address individually, like for example 192.160.10.54. So this is an individual PC and this is the range. Then afterwards, all you have to do is to give also IP DHCP pool LAN pool 1. So meaning this LAN pool 1 is the name of the DHCP pool that we need to create. So meaning this differs. This is a variable. Okay. So you can change this one more often until such time you can it's up to you as an administrator. Okay. The next thing is, once you give the LAN pool, automatically you go inside that LAN pool. That's the time that you are going to input your network. So take note, if this is subnetted, make sure that the network is correctly given, and also it's subnet mask. This is one of the most important thing, the default router. So the default router, this is your gateway actually. Okay, if you have the router with you, the gateway there is your default router. You get the idea? So basically, we put that in G00 or G01. So whatever port it is intended for your local area network. Okay. Then the next thing that you're going to do, you put a DNS server. Remember the classic server that we are using. There is a DNS server there. Okay, DNS name, so on and so forth. So you have to put the DNS IP address and the domain name that you are using. Let's say, for example, www.google.com, so on and so forth. Okay, then you end. So these are the following commands that you are going to put on your router in order for you to input or to create a DHCP. Okay, so more. So if you want to verify the DHCP, all you have to do is to give the command show running config pipeline, then section DHCP. So basically on that particular show running config, the section DHCP is what is only to be shown in this command here. That's why what you can see is only the configuration of your DHCP. Take note, you can have two or more DHCP in this example. Excuse me. Like for example, one is 10.0 network and the other one is the 11.0 network. So meaning you have two sections, like say this one is placed at G01 and this one is placed at G00. Or you can also put it in another router. And basically I'll give you an example to do that later. Then the other example of verification is show IP DHCP binding. So in this point, now you can see the two IP addresses, that it is the two network addresses intended for that particular IP pool. Okay. I'm sorry, excuse me. Next. Okay, so this is the DHCP relay. DHCP discover messages sent to broadcast. So this PC here will look for the DHCP here. So if the DHCP is placed here, then it's okay, no problem, because it is directly connected to that particular port. But if it is placed in here, so make sure that this line here should be what, with the protocol, right? Okay, let's say EIGRP or IP or SPF. same is true here. So if this is the DHCP intended for this one, then that's no problem. Therefore, you are not going to put a DHCP intended for this one, right? Sige. Now, if this IP address, let's say for example, if this is your router, if this is the router here, that is the DHCP, basically it cannot give IP addresses here. So in this instance, at G00, all you have to do is to put the IP helper address pointing to that particular router or pointing to that particular port. Or if you want this PC would like to ask an IP address from the DHCP where these are not the DHCP, this is the only DHCP that you have, therefore use an IP helper address in order for you to point it to that particular server. So that way, the server would like to give out IP addresses to this segment here. Okay. So later we are going to give the command out. Let's try. So I will be activating some of the exercises, and you are going to answer them. Okay. As for now, DHCPv4 SATA, and later I will be uploading also DHCP6. Okay. So I guess if you have any question, you can point it out only. Ibutang sa parang question ito sa ato ang GC para makuha na po kung saan ako pagtubag. Okay. So thank you, and I hope you get the idea of the DHCP. Thank you.